Okay, so we're going to get straight into it. So, you should now have something like this in your scene. So we're going to get rid of the default cube. Just left click and delete. Press Shift and A to make a new mesh. And we're going to make a cylinder. Now, as you can see, this has 2, 3, 3, so 8. 8-sided cylinder. Look at the speed of that mathematics. Flipping ink. Tell you what, it might only be 12:30 in the morning, but I'm fast. Okay, so 8 o'clock. No, 8 sides. 8 sides, not 8 o'clock. 8. Okay. Right. Sorry, guys. I'm not trying to be professional here. All right. Okay. So now, first things first is I want to try and get the circumference of this. So select my character, G, Y to move it along the y-axis. Now, how wide do we want this to be? Because we can always change things after. Let's make it a bit smaller. So I'm going to put my mouse out here and press S for scale. Scale it in a little bit like that. Okay. Now, let's see. Move her back again. G, Y. Oop. Go into the left view by the right view by pressing 3. You can get a left view by pressing Control and 3. I like to go into the right view. Click on this. Press Tab for edit mode. Alt Z for X-ray mode. 1 for vertice mode. Click and drag these vertices on here, and press N for November. Make sure you're in global. Then type 0 into the Z-axis. Okay, it's not quite that high, so select these top vertices. G, Z to constrain it to the Z-axis. Bring it down to about there roughly. Okay, now what I want to do is first of all add this little lip thing that goes here. Okay, so let me just move Blender here. Okay, so press Control R to add a new edge, move it up to roughly near the top, so that it's kind of the same distance from here to here. And then we're going to make another one. Control R, move it up, left click again. Okay, now we're going to come in and grab these bottom vertices, and we're going to press S for scale and then move them into about there. Now I can already tell that this is kind of a little bit too thick, so I'm going to grab these top vertices. Press G, Z, and bring them down to about there. Press Alt Z, Tab. That's about right, I'd say. Okay, so come into Tab, press 3 for face, click this one, hold down Control, click that one. No. I don't know why it does that. I need to, as I said, I'm still learning Blender, so obviously Alt doesn't work like that. Actually, I know why, actually. I think you're supposed to do this. Yeah, you see these edges, you're supposed to actually click on the edge itself. So don't click on the face. Instead, hold down Alt and click this, hold on Alt and click on the edge. And that will make a loop in the direction that you want. Okay, so now we're going to come up here to, I've got it as a hotkey, I think I've got it as a hotkey. No, I haven't, I didn't save it out. Okay, go to face, extrude faces along normals. And then we're just going to pull them out about like that. Make sure it's about the same thickness. Even if it isn't, I'll show you what you can do. So, if you'll notice, is that done what I think it's done? No, actually it hasn't. Okay, that's pretty cool. So, now for example, say if you make that extrusion and you don't like it, what you could do, you don't like the thickness, you could click on this, Alt, click the edge, press shift, then press shift and Z, and then that will constrain it on the X and the Y. So it will move, it will you know, scale on every axis apart from the Z axis, because by pressing shift and Z you're excluding the Z axis. Doesn't like it, but you know, tough cookies. There we go. So that's about right, I'd say. Okay, I think that's our general shape done. So I've decided that in this tutorial we're going to make the basic shape. In the second one we're going to make this the contents of the fire pit. Okay, so a bit of a heads up there. Okay, so making sure that you have face selection on. Click that, come out here somewhere, press I to inset, bring it in to about that, that's about right. Yeah. And then what we're going to do is we're going to extrude it downwards. So E, bring it down to about there. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to press Control. So we've pressed E and we've brought it down. Press Control R to make a loop. Left click again. Sorry guys. And I want to move this loop down a bit, so G, Z, bring it down to about there. Now I'm going to click this edge, Alt, click this one, S to scale inwards like that. Okay, right. Okay, so that's everything there. Now what we need to do is we need to go ahead and add these soft angles here. So edge mode. Okay, so left click one, hold Alt, left click the next one, hold on Shift and Alt, click this one, Shift Alt this one, Shift Alt this one, Shift Alt this one, Shift Alt, Shift Alt, Shift Alt. Okay, Control B to bevel. So you can always pull outwards about that much, I'd say. Okay, Alt to see what it looks like. That's pretty cool. I like that. It's kind of bulky, so it's kind of cool. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add a Bevel Modifier on top of this. But first of all, before we do that, I want to actually sort out my edges. So tab and just come along and select any. In fact, let's just add the bevel modifier first. So come out of edit mode by pressing tab, come over here, add modifier, bevel, and let's see, we want it to be about there. So I've typed in about, I haven't typed in 0.005. Let's see, 0.004. That'll do me nicely. So we only want this to affect certain edges. We don't want these edges here to be affected or these ones to be affected. We only want these sharp edges, these major angles to be affected. So to do that, let's first of all turn this into weight. So come down here to weight mode, press tab, and then we're just going to select our edges. So click one, hold on Alt, and if we type mean bevel weight to something like 1, same here, mean bevel weight 1. Now if you come out, you'll see that only those ones have been affected. I'm sure there's a way of turning this off, but okay. Make sure that you press N to bring up this menu here. So select your edges by left clicking, Alt, left clicking, mean bevel weight 1. I might add a bit of one in here. 1. We'll see how that looks. I mean, you're not even going to be able to see that anyway, so that's just adding geometry that doesn't need to be there. So, okay, Alt, 1, maybe here as well. 1. Okay. I'll probably bevel this part separately. See how that looks. Okay, that's pretty cool. Now I want to actually add a smooth modifier to it. Shade smooth. Well, it's already got one on apparently, but auto smooth. And obviously up here we want to make sure that shading and hardened normals is turned on under our bevel modifier. Gosh, let's turn this off. Cavity. Okay. Not really a fan of how this is kind of harsh looking though. Let's see. Let's see what we can do here. Add modifier, subdivision surface. Ooh, look at that, eh? Of course that was going to happen. That's not going to work, is it? No, I don't really want to use subdivision surface anyway because I'm trying to keep this moderately low poly. So, yeah. Anyway, let's come back in here. Tab for edge mode. And press Control B because I want to bevel this in a little bit. Give it maybe 2, maybe 3 segments by using the scroll wheel. Okay. Right. So now we've made the base for our fire pit. So let's see what we got. It's looking pretty accurate to the original. So that's pretty cool. So in the next part we're going to make the contents. We're going to make this interior, you know, this all this coal and mess. So I will see you in the next part.